These little simple links, so much easier than you think. Into happiness you'll sink, they'll say you had too much to drink. This is the size of the sun compared to the Earth, except the Earth would be much farther away. Okay, this is super cool, super cute. We have 18 gauge here, antique copper, my favorite. We're gonna take, I didn't even practice this yet, so I'm gonna guess we're gonna take about 7 inches. Test your beads first to make sure that the hole is big enough for the gauge you pick, but I really think 18 or 16 is what you want. So bring it to the middle like this, and then just do simple crimp and crimp, like that. Make a simple loop and loop. Now I'm trying to make these tight, so maybe I didn't emphasize enough. Make sure that crimp is tight and the bead isn't moving first, and then you do the loop the backwards, the opposite way of the way you crimped it. That's how you get the loop to come out really smooth like this, okay? So, yep, and I can see, no, I think I just gave myself just enough for this to work. So these loops, I'm gonna make them a little bigger than you think you might need. Pretty much about the same size as the bead. And now watch this, fold and fold. And this one, now you decide, this is the tricky part. You decide how much of this you want, but try to make it uniform from link to link. And then we're gonna come around. Okay, now this is where I could have given myself a little more wire, and I'm gonna do it on the next one, because I could scarf this a little more and make it look a little prettier, but once around is good enough to hold it in place. Same thing here. We're gonna mimic this loop right here. Try to give ourselves about the same amount, but you know, if you make a mistake, just keep going, because nobody cares, because it's gonna look cool no matter what. So I'm gonna come around once more like that, okay? So now, take a round nose. I mean, if you don't have round nose, you can do this with needle nose too, but I'm just gonna make a little swirl with the end of it to finish it. Where my pliers go. Yeah, this is where I think I need to take more, like closer to 9 inches, because I could have made a cuter swirl there. But again, these are going to be freeform organic. Each one's going to look a little different, and that's going to make it look super handmade and super cute. So get this swirl in. And now the fun thing about the swirl, you can place it wherever. You can leave it like this. You can tuck it in a little deeper. You can put it over, under, wherever. I'm just going to leave mine kind of just like that. I feel like they're cute, right? Okay, let's do the next one. No, oh, and another thing is how flat do you want it to be? Flip that over. That's pretty flat if I lay it that way, because this is going to be laying against a wrist or against a neck. So, you know, press it if you want it to be a certain way. Plus, if you don't care about it flipping back and forth, and try to make it evenly flat. I want it to lay this way, and I'm going to put probably 3 sets of jump rings to keep it from flipping or rolling. So therefore, I'm going to kind of press it and make sure it lays fairly flat. All right, on to the next one. By the way, these are African turquoise, if you search for them online. This is 6mm. They're actually dyed jasper, but they're just gorgeous. They're real stones, and I think they're an earth tone stone, but they're kind of have a little blue-green dye added, so they look very turquoisey. Again, bring it to the middle and crimp and crimp. Make our loop. Fold these over. Fold, fold. Decide how much of a curve you want to come around it. It's kind of like an orbit going around the planet. Not a circle orbit, more of an oval orbit. And this, I don't want to get too carried away, even though I have more wire to play with this time. Okay, so that's good. Now, this time I'm going to wrap these around about 3 times because that gives that a nice look there. And I'm going to do the same with this side. Whoops. Wrap. No, I'm going to do 4 times over that one. All right, so again, look at mine. This is longer. This part side's longer. This is shorter, but you know, it's handmade. Just make it cool. Just enjoy it. Don't judge your mistakes. Because if you judge your mistakes, you will cry. And then you have to spend more money on Kleenex. And why would you want your jewelry to cost you money? It's supposed to bring you joy and maybe even make new friends. If you just find people on the street and you say, hey, I would like to hand you some jewelry if you will be my friend. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 you do that and people will probably run away. That just means they're not quite ready for your level of friendship. That's how you root out the good ones. Because the person who says, I will take that piece of jewelry and be your friend, well, now you know. You don't have to go vetting them anymore. You have made a genuine friend. All right, I like that one even better. So, again, the way I seem to make them, they seem to be, if you flip it around, it kind of lays flatter. So I'm just going to not mess with a good thing. I'm just going to flip it around, leave it like that. Here's compared to my other one. See, a little different. This one's a little more diagonal. Each one, you know, has a little bit more character, but once you start lining them up, they just kind of flow if you get them, you know, close enough. Let's do some more. I wanted to triple the jump rings in between each link, but I don't like these jump rings that I happen to get. They're super flimsy, so I don't even want to use them even with 3. I have these good jump rings. They're much thicker. That's a problem with when you order something online for the first time. You don't really know till you touch it. But I only have enough of these to put 1. So even though you guys, you're going to see 1 jump ring in between each, that means I'm going to have to be careful if they don't flip when someone tries it on. You guys should do it 3 or 4 jump rings because that will hold them each link side by side so they don't accidentally flip over. Although, you know, if one happens to flip over, if you make them kind of similar on both, nobody will notice but you. It's up to you. Anyway, let's see how these look. I want this to be about 12 inches extending to about 16 inches to make it a proper choker. 12 to 16. That'll cover almost every neck, I think. So this is 10 inches just by itself. Once we add the clasp and the first few links, that should extend it to 12. That should make it good, and then a bunch more links to get it to about 14 to 16. Chokers are generally somewhere between 12 and 14 for most people, but we'll go to 16 just to be safe. Giant spool of antique copper chain. Yes, I believe this will work. Anybody else yet think these look like little tiny bumblebees or honeybees? Anyway.